Good morning, and welcome to All People's Church Unitarian Universalist. My name is Ashley Newland, and I'm here to help lead worship with our guest speaker, Kendra Weddle, who returns to our pulpit, having been here with us last fall. We are happy to see all you this morning, and especially as we gather again after the holiday season. Our Sunday service is a shared time of worship for all present as we gather for music, spoken words, a time of reflection and inspiration as a religious community. Let us come together in a spirit of compassion and respect for ourselves and others attending this service. We especially welcome those of you who are visiting today. If you haven't done so yet, please sign in at the visitors table by the front door, where you can be placed on our mailing list to receive weekly emails and the monthly newsletter. Before we continue on to worship, there are some announcements we would like to make. First, feel free to take the vermilions after the service. You are welcome to take the pot with you. We just ask that you bring the pot back when the plant moves on from this world. Also, Sarah would like to point out that, are you ready for a road trip? I mean, who isn't? The road trips are awesome. And if you are, your Texas Justice Ministry, TXUUJM, is planning a joyful, soulful get-together on January 21st in Austin, Texas. There will be many great speakers on bending Texas towards justice. Check our newsletter for details or ask Sarah if you would like any more information. And Kendra would like to point out that next weekend at her church, North Haven, in Dallas, that there is a transgender and Christian series going on. It's 2 days. And on January 14th, Austin Harkey will explain his story about coming out as a transgender Christian. And that's on January 14th at 7 p.m. On January 15th at 12:30 p.m. after church, there will be another series on Who is My Transgender Neighbor, again led by Austin Harkey. And that's at 12:30 p.m. January 15th. There will be little flyers out there during coffee hour that you can grab if you're interested in going next weekend. All right. And then our final announcement is a brief introduction of Kendra. Kendra Weddle is a PhD, is currently serving as a scholar in residence at North Haven Church in Dallas, Texas. Prior to this position, she was professor of religious studies for over 10 years at Texas Wesleyan University. And before that, she was an associate professor of religious studies at George Fox University in Newberg, Oregon. She's especially interested in the intersections of faith and feminism and in working for justice as a faith action. Kendra lives in Irving with her husband, Brian, and their adorable chocolate Labrador retriever, Rue. Welcome back, Kendra.
Ashley.
And now, please settle comfortably for our musical prelude.
What a beautiful prelude, Misha. Thank you. Our call to worship this morning is a reading from James Baldwin, The Fire Next Time. Love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. I use the word love here not merely in a personal sense, but as a state of being, a state of grace. not in the infantile American sense of being made happy, but in the tough and universal sense of quest and daring and growth. Welcome to worship.
I invite you to stand in body or spirit for the lighting of our chalice. Fire consumes and casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, our fears for the future, and our worries about today. May it light for us a path of joy and peace. And if you would remain standing and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 58, Ring Out Wild Bells. Tune before we sing. And if you would join us in saying the affirmation of our church. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. Thus do we covenant with one another. You're welcome to be seated. And Kendra invites the young and young at heart to come forward for our story of For All Ages.
I love that. Thank you. Anyone else want to come? Yeah. That's right. Thank you for coming. So y'all, when I was driving in this morning, the first thing I did was, pull out my phone, call up Google Maps, and type in, right? And okay, driving over here. And what was interesting was Google suggested I come a different way than I have come the last 2 times I've been here. And so instead of kind of coming down, getting over to Fort Worth and coming over, I came kind of through Arlington. I live in Irving. And I thought, well, that is really appropriate, because what I wanted us to think about today was going home another way. So, and I'm guessing that you all drive home. Do most of the time when you drive from here home, you go the same way? Right? Yeah. And I do too. And then I heard one time that if you will be intentional and go a different way, it actually strengthens your mind. It creates kind of new pathways. So I'm thinking that this is a good time for us to think about going home another way. And I think also that stories and living into someone else's story helps us to go a different way too. It expands our imaginations and helps us to think about what life might be like for someone else. So I'm going to suggest that for all of us, not only do we drive home or go home a different way, but maybe we think about a different way by reading and living into someone else's story. So thank you for coming up and joining me this morning. And now we'll sing the children out.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which was sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. As is our custom, we share the undesignated cash offerings of our plate. Our board has designated that our Share the Plate recipient for this month is the Center for Transforming Lives, who are affiliated with the YWCA. We'll be sharing more information about this organization in the future and how they serve our community. And at this time, the offering will now be accepted. Would the ushers please come forward?
Our reading this morning is the story about the visit of the Magi, which can be found in Matthew's Gospel of the Christian New Testament in chapter 2. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we have observed his star in the east and have come to pay him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all of Jerusalem with him, and calling together all of his chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for it has been written by the prophet, who said, 'And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, are by no means last among the rulers of Judah, for from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel.'" So then Herod secretly called for the Magi and learned from them the exact time and when the star had appeared. And so he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, so that I may also go and pay homage." When they had heard the king, they set out from there. Ahead of them went the star that they had seen in the east, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then, opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned by a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. We will now sing our middle hymn, number 1012, "When I Am Frightened." And Misha will play it through first, and then we'll join in after that. It's in here. Thank you.